What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, we've had an awakening, if you will, because of Elon Musk bringing it to the attention of the vast majority of the population that Congress is absolutely broken. This is something I've been preaching for a while now. Congress is broken. We need to fix the lobby system in this thing. We need to make these people do their damn job. And that just so happens to be what we're talking about. Now, we've been wrestling with, if you will, government funding over this past few days, right? And they brought up an omnibus package like they always do at Christmas time. Oh, and it was garbage. Just so happened, my man Vivek Ramaswamy comes in and says, hey, hang on, before I form an opinion on this omnibus, I'm going to read this thing out. And he exposed some outright corruption, garbage, just ridiculous spending, all kinds of stuff in this thing. And I cheered for it. Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy of the DOGE, right? Department of Government Efficiency, and that hasn't even been formed yet, and he's already doing his job. Then Elon Musk chimes in to spread the message even further, right? And Elon Musk has a very, very big voice, and we're thankful for this outright. Because now a lot of people know that, hey, look, they're giving $3 million for molasses funding, like for molasses research. Like what? Like there's all kinds of just pork like this. Oh, this district, they want this funding for this. They just give it to them. Just say, hey, $10 billion supplemental for farmers, go right ahead. Who cares, right? Just spinning our way into oblivion. And I think personally it needs to stop. But before we get into this thing right quick, I need you guys to do me a big favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you're new around here, and share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. Glad that's out of the way. Let's get into this thing. Check this out, y'all. We will not have a government shutdown. Mike Johnson says Republicans are united on the bill. Oh, are they? Is that so, Johnson? Well, I wonder what this bill entails, because Democrats, once we got that 1,547-page bill knocked down to 116 pages, Democrats just said, nope, not voting for this. Huh? Right, so we get rid of the garbage, and Democrats say no. Democrats are insane for this. They think we can just spend our way into oblivion. Well, I happen to think that's ridiculously stupid. Do you think we can just continue to spend money that we don't have, and then you guys get to go pat yourselves on the back, give yourself a raise, give yourself a 40% raise on top of that, right? Like, I know they haven't had a raise in a decade, but hang on, right? How many people do you know that if you go to work and don't do your damn job, do you get a raise? Like, answer that for me down in the comments section. If you go to work, don't do your job because you can't get fired because you got some civil service protections or something like that. You can't get fired. You don't do your damn job. You go back and lie to your boss saying you did do your job, but you didn't do your job and you can somehow get away with it. Do you think you deserve a raise? No, you don't deserve a raise, especially when you're in the top 20% of the country. Let's get into this thing because, these people piss me off, y'all. After meeting with House Republicans Friday afternoon, Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters the party is united on a Plan C to avoid a government shutdown that would begin at midnight on Friday if no agreement is reached. Johnson did not go into details, but according to reports from Fox News and CNN, GOP leaders initially pushed a plan on Friday that included holding 3 separate votes. Thank you, Johnson, on that. One on a 3-month government spending plan, one on a $100 billion disaster relief package, and a third on a $10 billion farm aid bill. CNN later reported that House Republicans want to hold one vote on the spending package, disaster aid, and an extension of the farm bill. Republicans are reportedly looking to vote on the package under suspension of the rules, which would require a 2/3 majority. Now, this is something I can't stand, right? They send these bills to committee to the Rules Committee, which my favorite Congressman Chip Roy happens to be on, right? And they go in to make all these rules. They make amendments to whatever they need to make to these bills as it goes through the Rules Committee, and you have to follow certain rules to go and vote on these things, right? And then they bring it to the floor, and somebody nominates to suspend the rules, right? So that was a complete waste of time. You had all these congressmen going to do all this work to make amendments and say, we can do this, we can't do that, blah, 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 blah. You get it. It's a long process. I'm not going to explain it here, but it's lengthy, it's detailed, and very esoteric, way too esoteric for YouTube. So they go in, they make up all these rules, they spend significant time in the Rules Committee making up all these rules, and then bring the bill to the floor and somebody just says, hey, let's suspend the rules. House Speaker says, okay. So if Congress wasn't corrupt already enough, you're going to make up rules and then just throw them out the window. That makes sense, don't it? This is how your Congress operates, y'all. This is why Speaker Johnson is teetering on the brink of getting booted out of his seat. And these people just can't seem to do their job. They've had months and months and months to pass the government appropriations, but they don't do that. They are more worried about going to have dinner with the lobbyists, or fundraising for this PAC, or fundraising for this interest over here. It's ridiculous. These people, we need all new congressmen, aside from about 10. I know I always say this. It's become a staple of this channel, if you will. But it's the truth. We just outright need all new congressmen. These people are insane. The new plan reportedly does not include a vote on the debt limit. Instead, lawmakers would agree to act on the debt limit next year. We have a unified Republican conference. There's a unanimous agreement in the room that we need to move forward, Johnson said. I will not telegraph to you the specific details of that yet because I've got a couple of things I've got to wrap up in a few moments upstairs, but I expect that we will be proceeding forward. We will not have a government shutdown, he added, and we will meet our obligations for our farmers who need aid, for the disaster victims all over the country, and for making sure that military and essential services and everyone who relies on the federal government for a paycheck gets paid over the holidays. Now, this is something that really throws me for a loop. Okay. Oh, we need farm aid for this. We need disaster relief for this. Well, hang on just a second. If somebody comes to you and says, look, I can't pay my house note this month, my mortgage, I can't pay that this month, and they ask you, can you loan me this money? I'm going to be booted out of my house if I don't pay my rent, whatever it may be. I'm going to be homeless on the street. Can you give me some money? And you are in the exact same situation. You're swimming in debt. You don't have any more money left. What are you going to tell these people? Are you going to, A, go to the bank, put some collateral up, get a loan, and go give this guy your money? Or B, are you going to tell him, I'm sorry, I'm in the same position that you are? Or C, take him to McDonald's and buy him a 4-piece chicken McNugget? Like, which one of these would you guys do, right? You would probably go with B. Tell him, no, I'm in the same position you are. I can't take out no more credit. I can't issue any more debt, for crying out loud, because I have my own rent to pay for. This is what we're doing constantly with almost every single one of these appropriations bills. We are spending money we don't have in a deficit. It's absurd, y'all. It's outright absurd. And these people are like, yep, we got to give those farmers money. Why? Why do we have to give them money? We don't have the money to give them. The first spending plan was a 1,547-page stopgap bill negotiated between the GOP-led House and Democratic-controlled Senate on Tuesday night. But with the help of his ally Elon Musk, Trump pushed back against that bill, which forced Speaker Johnson to come back with a much shorter revised bill on Thursday. Nearly 40 Republicans and almost every Democrat in the House opposed Johnson's revised bill, which failed in a vote on Thursday. Most Republicans focused on how the bill would extend the debt ceiling suspension for another 2 years beyond January of next year, when the current suspension is slated to expire. Trump addressed the controversy over the debt ceiling in a late-night Truth Social post, writing, "Congress must get rid of our extend out to, perhaps, 2029, the ridiculous debt ceiling. Without this, we should never make a deal. Remember, the pressure is on whoever is president." Trump also said on Friday morning that funding the government is a Biden problem to solve, adding that if a shutdown is unavoidable, it should begin now. I happen to agree with part of that, right? Like it's currently going on, the government shutdown. That is a Biden problem to solve, as a matter of fact. But it's also a Congress problem to solve, because Congress controls the purse. If there is going to be a shutdown of government, let it begin now under the Biden administration, not after January 20th under Trump. The president-elect posted on Truth Social. This is a Biden problem to solve, but if Republicans can solve it, they will. And that's the end of that. Now, I understand what Trump's trying to say here. He doesn't want to come in, as president with a shutdown government, not ready to go, and he's got to fight appropriations. I get that. I totally get that. This is a Biden problem to solve. This is a Congress problem to solve. They should all solve this. This is Chuck Schumer's problem to solve as well. These people can't seem to do their job, and all they want to do is point fingers, right? That's all they want to do. They want to just add garbage onto these appropriations bills, so when it comes time for election time, they can say, "Oh, Republicans didn't want to fund your farmers. They didn't want gender studies over here. They didn't want this. They didn't want that." They add these things in there to run on so they can get elected again, so they can stay in power. I think this sends a strong message to the American people, and I wish this video could get sent to everybody that watches YouTube, to say, and they would watch this thing all the way outright, to say, look, this is what your congressman does. They manipulate you, right, with their words and with these bills and with your taxpayer dollars. They manipulate you to keep them in power, so when it comes time to vote, you'll go vote for them again. I suggest do not. I suggest vote for somebody else. Let's primary 430 congressmen and women. Let's just primary almost all of them, right? Because there's only a handful of good congressmen. That's it. Because they're manipulating you. They don't care about your kids' future, right? They put all this spending up on the platter to sacrifice your kids' future for some sort of pleasure for right now, so they can stay in power, right? It's ridiculous. It's absurd. But this is the games they play. This is the game they play constantly. When they could have been doing this, they could have worked this out months ago, like I was saying earlier. But what did they do? They sat on their hands, or they went and fundraised for something else to make other people money, right? Instead of doing their damn jobs. That we need to send a message to these people saying, you're not going to screw us over anymore. We need a Congress that's going to operate, that's not going to be just dysfunctional all over the place. It's Democrats and Republicans alike. I'm not taking any sides here, right? Except, well, I am taking a side. It's on your side, the American voter, the American people. I'm taking your side on this because these people are not on our side. If they vote for garbage spending in a deficit and all this appropriations going to everybody, and, oh, we need to help these people, we need to help these people, and blah, 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 blah. I'm sick and tired of these people just spending money they don't have, kicking the can down the road, and leaving it up to our children and grandchildren to foot the bill, right? Because that's all they're doing. They've been doing this for decades now. Right? For decades. Ever since the 90s, when they actually balanced the budget. Yeah, they can do this if they want to. They could tell these departments, no, we can't increase spending. They've been increasing spending. For what reason? Right? They spend money on ridiculous stuff. Of course, that's something that can be worked out. But Social Security is going to be insolvent. Medicare, all these programs, these entitlement programs, they don't work. right? Social Security. That takes 4 people to pay 1 person, right? Now, that's a recipe for disaster, as a matter of fact. And then I learned of something today which makes absolutely no sense, that Social Security is only taxed up to $168,000 a year. In other words, anybody that makes less than $168,000 a year, they get fully taxed on Social Security. If you make more than that, you only get taxed a certain amount. It's up to a dollar amount, in other words. So the rich get taxed less for Social Security. That's crazy. That's weird. I don't have a solution for that except, hey, let's be fair. If Social Security is a percentage of your income, then that needs to be that all the way across the board, right? Which would get into ridiculous numbers for some people, but you know what? It is what it is. That's the only fair way to do that. But these people need to handle our money better. But you can't ever get these people to agree on anything. This is just all insane, though. Right? I couldn't believe I learned of that today. Yeah, Social Security is going to become insolvent. And it's not working. As a matter of fact, we need to restructure Social Security. I would honestly, I know this is not a popular opinion, but I would honestly vote to just get rid of it outright. Just seriously, because at this point, the Social Security payout isn't really anything. It's a little bit of money, $1,000 a month. That's that. Yeah. Try living on that, right? Like, I understand this because I've lived off of Social Security before. When I was a kid, my dad died at an early age, my adopted dad. It's a long story on that. But my adopted dad died at an early age. So we received Social Security. And yeah, we were broke. We were piss poor at that point, right? He left us a bunch of money. My mom, she wasn't very fiscally responsible. I'll just say that. And she burnt through all that money in like 3 years. And we were pretty much living off of Social Security. And it was rough. I ain't gonna lie. It was pretty dang rough. So that doesn't do much, to be honest with you. Doesn't do a damn thing for most people. Now, I don't think some people shouldn't get their Social Security benefits, right? If you made X amount of money in your life, if you were one of these people that made over $168,000, like rich people, they shouldn't get Social Security. I don't think. Like, anybody that has a decent retirement plan shouldn't get Social Security. If you have an income that you can survive on, you should not be entitled to Social Security. That would be one way to reform Social Security, to make it to where it's only for people that don't have a job, don't have a retirement, and can't live without that money. Then I could see doing it. That would make it a lot easier to fund Social Security. It wouldn't cost nearly as much. Then getting into Medicare and Medicaid, yeah, I think that needs to be drastically cut back, especially when you have Obamacare. I'm currently being forced to pay for health insurance that I don't use. That's absurd to me. That is just outright absurd to me. But this is all ridiculous, and I don't have solutions to all this, just by the way. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not some smart guy that knows how to fix all these problems. I just know that these are problems that we have, and something needs to happen. Otherwise, we're going to burn this country to the freaking ground. I mean, we are currently already on that trajectory to burn this country to the ground. We're destroying it little by little by little. Joe Biden's not helping. Hopefully Trump can come in and put the flames out, which I doubt that's going to happen, to be honest with you. He's going to help, but, unless we do something drastic, it's going to just continue to burn. Just outright. Simple as that. But I think I've rambled on for long enough on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section, because I imagine you guys are quite upset with Mike Johnson and Republicans, Democrats alike in Congress, because they're just pissing away our inheritance for our kids, essentially. They're just burning this country to the ground slowly, and then trying to make you think that they're doing a good job and they deserve a raise. Yeah, I don't think so. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe. Share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.